high-level, updated, new stuff doesn't work, you find yourself in an omoplata battle because the gogoplata didn't work, the gogo clinch didn't work, the frodoplata didn't work, locoplata didn't work, the Hazlitt didn't work, death from below didn't work. We're gonna go over all that. All those submissions from rubber guard, when they don't work, you end up in the omoplata position, which again was the main fight in the early days. It was always about those omoplatas, and either I'm gonna tap you with an omoplata or I'm gonna use that sweep, use your escape against you to create a sweep and a pass. We've gone over the early basic path of the rubber guard, which was mainly battling from the omoplata position. Gogoplatas were in the mix, but not the way they are now. Nowadays, gogoplatas are way more high percentage and refined, and the first goal, really, we want to get them in gogoplatas. But to understand the modern day rubber guard game, you have to understand where it came from and how it led to where it's at now. So we're you know, all the omoplata battles and options are crucial even today. The only difference is they used to be more of a priority, more of the go-tos, and now they're the backup plan. All right, so still very important. You want strong backup plans. So this is basically how I deal with omoplata counters, and this is very, very, very important. So when we're here, when we're battling here, this becomes very important again, because his best way out is to knee slice here and end up on this side. I just blew it all. I blew it. Or he could simply just jump over. He could just jump over. If I don't have any control, he's here, and now he's really, really, really in good shape, and I really messed up. The first counter to his counter is, because I'm so worried about him getting to this side, this arm becomes huge. It's a clinch, it's a steel claw, all right? So if he decides to roll over his right shoulder and get on top, he rolls over his right shoulder and get on top, boom, and then he gets on top really quick. I gotta stop that. I gotta be ready for that, all right? So I gotta be ready for, so if he decides to roll and I'm clinched, he's gonna pick me up with him, and once I'm up, I'm going to get really tight here, and now I'm here, in twister side control. I mean, go right into fishnets immediately. So as long as I'm ready for that escape, that's one escape, him just rolling over his right shoulder quickly. If I'm ready for it, always ready for it, it's never gonna work. And not only is it never gonna work, it's gonna give me a sweep, and if I'm in total control and I'm always looking for a pass, it's gonna give me a sweep and a pass. So that makes the rubber guard super effective when it comes to sweeps, all right? So this particular sweep worked twice in the UFC in the same fight. Matt Horowitz, who's one of my students, this was like maybe 10, 13 years ago when he fought Dan Miller in the UFC. He did this exact same thing that I'm showing you right now, twice in the same fight. He put Dan Miller in rubber guard. They ended up in an omoplata position. Dan Miller rolled out. Matt Horowitz was expecting the roll, used that roll against him, used it to pick himself up, and he got on top twice. Imanari did it to Jean Silva in Cage Warriors in London. Jean Silva, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Imanari, known for his leg locks. Jean Silva takes Imanari down. Ends up in Imanari's guard. Imanari, mission control, cleared the neck. Chill dog, kung fu move, ended up in an omoplata position. And the only difference is when Jean Silva rolled, Imanari got up and they both stood up, and then they were standing. So for a striker, the basic path is huge, like in MMA. If you just want to strike and your opponent wants to take you down, You just put him in mission control, try to get to the omoplata position, omoplata battle, control the roll, let him try to roll out and use that to stand up. It's already been proven. So again, the counter to the roll is always be like, these hands are very important. If he rolls up super fast and gets up on top, boom, and he gets up on top, I had no control, I gotta start all over, all right? So now he tries to roll super fast, so he picks me up, and then I let him go through. So rubber guard worked for a sweep and a pass. I was on the bottom, now I'm in side control. Huge. So another count, that's very important. You have to, that's probably the most common scenario in rubber guard right there, is you end up in an omoplata situation, he tried to roll out, you controlled his roll, used the roll against him, and you used it as a sweep and a pass, all right? Another counter is the duck under now. He's gonna straighten this leg and then shoot this knee through. If I just hold tight the whole way through, he's gonna use that momentum, boom. So initially in the omoplata position, I'm clenched up, leg curls are on, I'm keeping him down, I'm super tight. And then if he times that duck under right, and I remain tight, he's gonna throw me across the room. But if I anticipate that that's one of his counters, then I know as soon as he goes for it, that move takes a long time to complete, plenty of time to react correctly. And the correct reaction is to go limp in midair, in the middle of that duck under, go limp and face the legs, spin towards the legs. If you can do that, doesn't take that long to get that in your DNA, then you're ready for two of the most common escapes from the omoplata position, all right? So it looks like this. I'm clamped down, I'm real heavy, and in this position here, he could throw me across the room, but he tries to throw me across the room, I go limp, and I face his legs, right into a fishnet. And we start attacking the trunk. That's a very important transition to have mastered. Very important in the rubber guard, I can't stress this enough, to have your omoplata position mastered. And the quickest way to do that is by starting there live and going live. Put it in the curriculum. Go live. When are you working on your live omoplata drills? We do it on F day. Whenever it's warm-ups F day, after we blast through the warm-ups in 15 minutes, we're gonna do some live rubber guard drills, and a lot of the times we start right from the omoplata position. We just put time into it. You have to put time. This is the only way you master all positions, is start there, live drill situations, and keep putting time in that little position over and over and over and over. And then you become a master. That's how the body works. It's just time. So, one more time. One thing that you have to get out of your DNA is, in this situation, we're gonna do it in slow motion, and as he does the duck under, when a lot of guys will go, oh, they'll look at the head and want to face the head, and then it becomes a scramble, and then you lost everything. That's the natural thing. I see it, I've seen this since the day I started teaching in 2003. In that situation, you look at the head, you want to face the head, but he has an underhook. You just have the head. It's not a good idea to face the head. Although you could, depending on the angle of the duck under, if he tries the duck under again, sometimes guys will try to put a triangle here. They'll try to get a triangle here, and sometimes I've seen it work. It's just lower percentage. In my opinion, as long as you have fire from side control, and I always try to push twister side control. There's everything for me comes from twister side control. You know, once you're on top. So I like to spin the opposite way. He does the duck under, boom. I'm gonna spin towards the legs, and we're gonna be right here. Very common when battling in the omoplata position. That's the unwinder right there. This one, when he rolls, and we control it, when he rolls over, boom, and we control this is called the DA. The DA. Because we forced him to roll. I didn't make up that name. But that one's the DA suite. Omoplata sweep. Now, also, when you're battling from this position here, if he postures up, you can also look for triangles here. Nogueira did that in Pride. Rodrigo Nogueira. Again, when you're battling from the omoplata position, a triangle is always in the mix. It's always on the menu. All right? So that's the basic path, the basic rubber guard. That's the first 3, 4, 5 years of 10th Planet. That's what we really hit. Mission control, zombie, meat hook to a triangle possibly. If that doesn't work, clear the neck, chill dog kung fu move, and then battle from the omoplata. Either finish the omoplata or get a sweep and a pass off the omoplata. That's the basic path right there.